After 3 years of no contact, a letter from my dad arrived. I was overjoyed and about to open it. 3 years. 3 long years, I convinced myself he'd abandoned me, leaving me utterly shattered. But then a letter arrived, twisting my world into a knot of desperate hope and chilling dread. What if the man I thought had simply walked away was actually fighting a battle I couldn't even begin to imagine? What if everything I believed was a lie? My name is Amanda Montgomery, and at 29, I had finally buried the hope of ever hearing from my father again. 3 years of absolute silence had a way of teaching you that. So when that envelope appeared last Tuesday, with his familiar, sprawling handwriting on it, my heart didn't just flutter, it burst. Pure, unadulterated joy. I immediately called my billionaire grandfather, William, desperate to share the news. But his response? It chilled me to the bone. He didn't offer congratulations, or even a hint of shared relief. Just a curt, bring it to me. Now. As I slid that precious letter across his gleaming mahogany desk, a deep frown creased his face. Look closer, Amanda, he said, his voice strangely tight. And what I discovered next didn't just change everything, it shattered my entire perception of my father, and the life I thought I knew. See, I'd built a really good life for myself in Boston. As a journalist for a major newspaper, I was living my dream, uncovering truth, telling important stories. My downtown apartment was small, sure, but it had character, and a view of the city that always inspired me. I'd earned respect, especially for my coverage of financial crimes and corporate fraud. The brutal irony that my career was practically birthed from my own family drama was never lost on me. My grandfather, William Montgomery, had raised me since I was 12. A self-made billionaire, his investments spanned real estate, technology, manufacturing. He could have given me everything, but he pushed me to earn my own way. Money is a tool, Amada, he'd always say, not a substitute for character. Grandpa William was my rock, my constant. My father Jackson? He was anything but. Dad struggled with alcohol for as long as I could remember. It tore my parents apart when I was 8. Then, when I was 12, Mom passed away from cancer, leaving me in Grandpa's care. Dad would float in and out of my life after that, sometimes disappearing for months, only to show up again with grand promises and ambitious, doomed plans. The tension between Dad and Grandpa was always thick enough to cut with a knife. Dad resented Grandpa's wealth, his success, claiming it cast a shadow he could never escape. His business ventures consistently failed, often because he'd abandon them halfway for some new, guaranteed opportunity. Grandpa would offer advice, Dad would ignore it, and then, inevitably, ask for money when everything collapsed. I built everything from nothing, Grandpa would say, exasperated. Jackson simply refuses to put in the work. The final blow came 3 years ago, on my 26th birthday. Dad arrived late, already a little drunk, and immediately picked a fight with Grandpa. You think your money makes you God? Dad shouted across the table in the private dining room, his voice raw. You use it to control everyone, especially my daughter. Grandpa's voice was measured, but cold. And I've been there for Amanda when you couldn't be bothered. I've done nothing but try to help you. Watch the full story on my channel, link below. You won't believe what happened next.